Good afternoon. Today's portion is autonomic nervous system. Here, autonomic nervous system means it is a part of the nervous system which control the visceral function of the body is called as an autonomic nervous system or ANS or visceral or visceral, vegetative, or involuntary nervous system. Involuntary means it is not control. Okay, it is not our control. That is involuntary. So, autonomic nervous system. It is a part of the nervous system which control the function of the body. Here, this autonomic nervous system distributed throughout the body. It controls the tissues like muscles, heart, glands, which are not under the voluntary control. Okay, the autonomic nervous system is mainly that is controlled by, that is mainly initiated by or activated by, that is some center which is present on the spinal cord, brainstem, hypothalamus, limbic system of cerebrum. Okay, that means here the sensory signals which receives or arise from the visceral organ then enter into these centers and turn, that is and return back the direction or response to back to the visceral organ to control the activity as in a reflex action. So that is the autonomic nervous system. This autonomic nervous system, here there is here the two main division is there, that is the sympathetic system and parasympathetic system. Here there is between these two division, that is a sympathetic and parasympathetic. These two divisions are, that is actually that is antagonist to one another. Antagonism means opposite action to other. Here the parasympathetic system is mainly consists of, it is a vegetative or the responsible for the vegetative function. Example, there is a motility, secretion of gastrointestinal tract. Okay, that means this system is, there is a parasympathetic system is essential for the normal existence of organism. But in the case of sympathetic system, that mainly that is this system is predominantly, that is a predominant especially in case of the stressful condition, during the stressful condition or during the emergency condition. That means here the fight or flight, that is here unlike the parasympathetic system, the sympathetic system is not essential for normal existence of an organism. Because of this, that means here the two division, that is a sympathetic and parasympathetic division, has some structural and functional difference are there. Okay, that means normally which work in the opposite manner. Okay, so this parasympathetic activities, that is predominate in the during the rest condition, but in the predominate, that means that is more prominent in case of the emergency condition in the sympathetic system. Okay, here both of these division are integrated by or regulated by the hypothalamus, that is integrated by the hypothalamus, which ensure the appropriate response for the situation. Okay, so these all integrated by the hypothalamus. That is these two that is the activity of the both division is integrated. It means combined together by which organ? Hypothalamus is organ which ensure the appropriate response to the situation. Okay, here from this picture, why I that is include this picture in this section means, from this picture you can this is a spinal cord, because the spinal cord is the one of the center for the activation of this that is activated center for the autonomic nervous system. Here this autonomic nervous system, here that is the spinal cord is there. Here you can see the preganglionic nerve is there, then autonomic ganglia is there, then the post ganglionic nerve fibers. That means after the ganglia the nerves, that is, neurons are present. This is called as a preganglionic fibers that enter into the, that is, the effector organ. So here the sympathetic, that is, both sympathetic and parasympathetic system consists of a preganglionic nerve. One preganglionic nerve is there, then ganglia is there. Ganglia is nothing but it is a collection of nerve cell body. Collection of the nerve cell body is called as a ganglion. Here one ganglion, one preganglionic, that is a nerve is there, ganglia is there, then postganglionic nerve is there, one effector organ is there. These are the main elements of, that is, both sympathetic and parasympathetic system. Okay, so here in the autonomic nervous system, from the CNS to the effector organ, two motor nerves are there. That is, the first one is the preganglionic motor nerves, then second one is then one synapse is there. Here in synapse is nothing but this is junction between the two neuron. This is not an anatomical continuity, but it is a physiological continuity between the two, that is, nerve. Okay, here that synapse in a here synapse is the ganglion outside the CNS. The first you can see the from the figure, the ganglion is here. Okay, this ganglion is there here. So the first neuron is called as a preganglionic neurons from the CNS to the ganglion. Okay, the second neuron, this is the second neuron, is called as a postganglionic neuron from the ganglion to the effector organs. Effector organs here, the digestive system is here. So the so this is elements of the autonomic nervous system. Then first we discuss about the sympathetic system. Okay, here the sympathetic system, as we know, here the sympathetic system division dominant in a stressful situation, which include anger, some fear, anxiety, and some exercise, and prepare the body for this system. Prepare the body for fight, 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 or flight, FLIGHT, flight response. Okay, here there is these effects of the sympathetic stimulation is increased heart rate become more, then vasodilation of skeletal muscle, which supplies the more oxygen. Because of the dilation, supply the more oxygen. Dilation of the bronchioles, the bronchi become dilated because of the dilation, the more air can take. Then glycogenolysis is provided for energy. Okay, then there is a glycogen breakdown to the glucose, so the glucose can be utilized for the energy purpose. Then decreased digestive secretion, decreased peristalsis movement, then vasoconstriction of the skin and visceral organ such as the heart, muscles, and brain. These all are the sympathetic stimulated effects. Okay, here this sympathetic sympathetic division is also called as thoracolumbar division. Why is called as thoracolumbar division? Why? Because means here the preganglionic fibers, already we told that this is a preganglionic fibers of sympathetic system, arises from the lateral horn cell of, that is, the spinal cord, lateral horn or cells of the spinal cord, that means situated in here, that is thoracic segments, that is T1 to the second lumbar, that is region of the spinal cord. Okay, that means this the sympathetic preganglionic nerves is originated in the spinal cord between the spinal segment between the T1 and L2. L2 means lumbar, that is 4 in number. but is up to second lumbar segment of the spinal cord. Okay. So the here sympathetic system consists of a two chains of ganglia. So system consists of a two chains of ganglia on either side of the vertebral column, from which nerve is extended to different internal organ. You can see that is a gray that is rame is there. Okay, then the white ramus is there. There is here the ganglia is there. Here you can see the sympathetic ganglion is there. This is the ganglion. The sympathetic system consists of two chains of ganglia on either side of the vertebral column, through which that is you can see from this preganglion is enter into the ramus. From the ramus is that may travel, that is in different part of the body. So that's why that is from which the nerve extend to the different internal organs. Okay, so the each sympathetic pathway is composed of a two fibers that already we have learned, that is the preganglionic and postganglionic nerves. Okay, so the preganglionic nerves which arise from the lateral horn of the spinal cord. Okay, and it is passes that is they passes through the that's I will show it just passes through the that is this is here this is anterior, that is a lateral horn. From the lateral horn pass through the anterior nerve root. This one is the, and you can see this is the anterior roots nerve that already we discussed. Spinal cord as an that is here you can see this is a anterior root from the spinal cord, anterior column. So it that is a anterior and posterior, and that is the components are combined together to form a that is a spinal nerve. Okay, here the anterior root, you know, this is the anterior root. So this is they pass through the anterior that is anterior root in this way. Okay, this is from the here in the anterior root, and then they run the short distance through the spinous nerve, Okay, then from the spinous nerve they are communicated to the ganglia. So the spinal cord through the anterior root of the cord into the spinal nerve. Then immediately after the spinal nerve it leaves the spinal cord, and the preganglionic sympathetic fibers leaves the nerve and pass through the white ramus. You can see this is a white ramus. This is the sympathetic ganglia out from the CNS. So this is a ganglion is there. So that is this enter into the ganglia, that is white ramus. White ramus is nothing but is a branches of the branches through the white ramus into the ganglion of sympathetic chain. From this ramus only it enter into the sympathetic chain. This is a sympathetic chain. You can see this is a from this picture, this is a sympathetic chain. So through the white ramus only it enter the sympathetic chain. Okay, so that is a series of ramus is nothing but a series of ganglia present on either side of the vertebral column. The ganglia are connected with each other by means of fibers. Okay, now the second regimen, that is that is post-ganglionic fibers. Okay, this is a post-ganglionic fibers. That is a post-ganglionic fiber. They are formed in the from here. This is here the post-ganglionic fibers. So from the picture you can see they are formed by the gray rami. The gray rami, that is gray rami means there is a singular one, or ramus means a plural one. Rami communicants which arise from the ganglia of a sympathetic chain. So the post-ganglionic nerves are arise from the that is gray rami communicants of the sympathetic chain. So they are enter into the spinal nerve the same level and reach the organ which they supply, then enter to the supply, or that is what enter into the supply. Okay, so they come out from the ganglion appropriate level through the gray remi communicate and enter into the, that is the spinal nerve. So this is the division of the sympathetic chain. Okay, so here next one is the that is the parasympathetic nervous system. Here the parasympathetic nervous system. Here in the case of the parasympathetic system, before that one, the course of synthetic fibers already we learned. After the passing through the ganglia, the course of the fibers can be one of the following three. Maybe the fibers from the ganglia, fiber can synapse with the other neuron to the ganglion that it enter. Otherwise, the fibers can pass upward or downward in the sympathetic chain and synapse in one of other ganglia of the chain. Or otherwise, the fiber can pass through for the variable distance through the chain and through one of the nerves radiating outward from the chain, finally ending the sympathetic ganglion. Okay, so usually the sympathetic fibers from the T1 generally pass up the sympathetic chain into the head, T2 to the neck, T3 that is thoracic 3, that is T3 to T6 into the thorax, T7 and to T11 into the abdomen, T12 and lumbar 1 and lumbar 2, L1 and L2 into the legs. This is the approximate distribution. There may be the considerable overlapping will be there. So that is the course of sympathetic fibers. That is a less important only. Just you have to understand how the structure of the sympathetic chain. Okay. Now we move to the parasympathetic nervous system. It is also known as that is the carniosacral outflow. Why means here this is the parasympathetic fibers leave to the CNS through the carnial nerve, that is the carnial nerve 3, 7, 9 and 10. So that is a carnial outflow. Okay, because it is arise from this through the carnial nerve only. So third carnial nerve, 7th one, 9th one, 10th one, that is a carnial outflow. And through that is the sacral, that is especially that is S2 to S4, sacral nerves, that's called as a sacral outflow. So that is this parasympathetic nervous system is also called as a craniosacral outflow. That's I told to you, because the parasympathetic system is mainly concentrate the vegetative function, example motility and secretion of the gastrointestinal tract. This system is essential for the normal existence of the body. Okay, so here there is from the these preganglionic fibers. In the case of the preganglionic fibers from parasympathetic nerves arise from not the spinal cord, it is arise from the midbrain, medulla and sacral portion of the spinal cord. That's a it is not the okay. So that is here the preganglionic fiber instead of the spinal cord. These preganglionic fibers of the parasympathetic nervous system arise from the cell present in the midbrain, medulla. Third one is the sacral portion of spinal cord. From the midbrain, the fibers are emerged through the oculomotor nerves. Then how it is happen means the third cranial nerve, that is the oculomotor, supplies the sphincter of pupil and ciliary muscles of the eyes. The seventh, that is a facial nerve, pass to the lacrimal, nasal or submandibular, sublingual glands, and the ninth, glossopharyngeal nerves pass to the parotid glands. Okay, parotid glands. The sacral or parasympathetic fibers join to form a nerve regions or the pelvic nerve, which distribute their fibers to the descending colon, rectum, bladder, lower portion, ureter or external genitalis. Okay, so as a sacral portion of spinal cord, they arise from the anterior column, second and third and fourth. Second sacral and third and fourth sacral segments. Then they pass through the anterior roots, the corresponding spinal nerves. Okay, all these nerves which have the three different origins and in the ganglion, each these parasympathetic ganglia are very near to the structure which these nerves supply. Okay, then the postganglionic fibers, they arise from the ganglia, and reach the structure where the nerve supplies there. That is the parasympathetic division, or especially that is efficient digestion in the increased peristaltic, increased secretion, normal heart rate, contraction of smooth vessel. These are the important functions of the parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, and that is about the two division of the autonomic nervous system. First one is the neurotransmitter. From this picture, you can see the what is a neurotransmitter. Before that, what is the neurotransmitter? Before explaining the neurotransmitter present in the autonomic nervous system, we have to know what is a neurotransmitter. NEUROTRANSMITTERS. Neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters is the chemical substance that act and mediator for the transmission of nerve impulse from one neuron to another neuron. So because I told you, when synapse is there in between the two neuron, synapse is a junction between the two neuron. So here there is no anatomical continuity. So one impulses is transmitted from one nerve to another nerve through this synapse. So synapse is in a physiological continuity only, not an anatomical continuity. So there is no attach between the two neurons. Okay, so the gap. So here some mediator is required for the transmission of a nerve impulses from one neuron to another neuron through the synapse. So that is substance is called as a neurotransmitter. So neurotransmitter is a chemical substances. Now, what are the chemical transmitters in the autonomic nervous system? From the first picture, you see this is a parasympathetic nerve system. Parasympathetic system. Here, as I told you, there is a two neurons are there. Pre-ganglionic nerve fibers are there. Post-ganglionic nerve fibers are there. Here, in the case of the parasympathetic system, the transmitter in the pre-ganglionic fiber, you can see the up to here the acetylcholine. This is a ganglia is here. Acetylcholine is which is liberated in the ganglion. So this area, the acetylcholine is the neurotransmitter. In both cases, the neurotransmitter in the ANS are acetylcholine and noradrenaline are the main neurotransmitter in the autonomic nervous system. Here, look in the parasympathetic nervous system. This is a pre-ganglionic parasympathetic nerve is an acetylcholine. Here you can see the acetylcholine. Then post-ganglionic nerve fibers. So that is entered to the effector organ. So here again acetylcholine is a transmitter in the post-ganglionic parasympathetic nerves. It is liberated at the post-ganglionic parasympathetic nerve ending. Okay, so the acetylcholine receptors are present. Receptors are the binding site to the these chemical substances. These substances, that is the receptors, are present in the effector organ is here. So both cases, in the case of the pre and post ganglionic nerve ending, the acetylcholine will be the neurotransmitter in case of the parasympathetic system. Then next one is there is a sympathetic system. In the case of the sympathetic system, here from this picture, you know this is from this picture there is in the case of the similar in the sympathetic system, similar in the pre-ganglionic fibers as like in the parasympathetic system. This is a pre-ganglionic fiber, both case 1, 2, 3. This all case pre-ganglionic fibers. The acetate neurotransmitter will be the acetylcholine only. Okay. That is here the acetylcholine is the neurotransmitter in the preganglionic sympathetic nerve ending. But the postganglionic nerve fibers, that is after the ganglia, these are the postganglionic nerve fibers is there. Here is an adrenal medulla is there. This is the postganglionic fibers. Okay, one is the effector organ is the heart, one is the adrenaline, that is and noradrenaline is there. Then second one is the sweat gland is there. Okay, so here noradrenaline is the neurotransmitter in the preganglionic nerve neurons, preganglionic nerve fibers, except the that is a sweat. Look here. Okay, except the there is a sweat gland and erector pili, P-I-L-L-I. That is erector pili. That is already explained in the under the chapter of the skin. Okay, so here except these two cases, that is all other case, that is the noradrenaline is the neurotransmitter in the preganglionic sympathetic neuron. Okay, that is you can see from this picture here in the case that is a postganglionic fiber, adrenaline or noradrenaline is the that is a neurotransmitter. Here heart and blood vessels is effector organ. Then adrenal medulla is another effector organ. Here adrenal medulla is the responsible gland is secrete the adrenaline and noradrenaline. Here it is also adrenaline is the neurotransmitter. But in the case of the sweat gland, there is a postganglionic fibers. The acetylcholine is the neurotransmitter. Okay, so that is the chemical transmitters present in the that is autonomic nervous system. Here the higher control of autonomic is already we learned. Medulla and the medulla is the chief higher center which control the autonomic nervous system, and hypothalamus is also that is integrate both these functional activity, that is activities. Okay, so that is an autonomic nervous system is an involuntary system that I told to you. It is an involuntary system. That's about the that is a sympathetic and parasympathetic system of the ANS. Okay, so sometimes they may ask, especially that is explain that there is a two division, sympathetic and parasympathetic division. Now we move to the another important of this autonomic nervous system, that is the functions of the autonomic nervous system. Here the functions of sympathetic and parasympathetic systems, nervous system, here is shown in this figure. Here also I already told to you these two systems are mutual antagonist system. Here from this picture you can see this is an eye. This side is representing the parasympathetic system. This represent the sympathetic system. So one is the opposite to other. So here from this picture also you know how these these nerve fibers are arised from the different part. So this is a parasympathetic system. So here this it is a cranial nerves. So that is seventh cranial nerves, third and seventh and ninth, 10th cranial nerves. So this is the first one is the there is a constriction of the, there is a stimulation of the parasympathetic system that cause the constriction of the pupil. Pupil constriction means that shorten the pupil, that is the pupil size, decrease the pupil size, that is a constriction of the pupil size. Opposite this is in sympathetic stimulation, the dilation of the pupil is occur. Dilation is the pupil occur. Okay, that is a dilation of the pupil occur. So next one is the stimulation of the saliva in the case of the parasympathetic system. Okay, then the inhibit the here inhibit the salivation in the case of the stimulation of sympathetic system. Next one is the heart. In the case of the heart rate is decreased in the case of the parasympathetic system. Heart rate, okay, but it increases the heart rate in the case of the increases the accelerated the heart rate means increase the heart rate. Then lungs is there. In the case of the lungs there is a constriction of the bronchi, that means shorten the bronchi. In the case of sympathetic system, that is a dilate the that is relax the bronchi. Okay, here that means next one is stimulate the digestive activity in the case of the parasympathetic system, but in the case of the sympathetic system stimulation, inhibit the digestive activity. Then stimulate the gallbladder in the case of the parasympathetic system. Then in the case of the stimulate the gallbladder in the case of parasympathetic. Then stimulate the glucose release by the liver in the case of the that is the sympathetic system stimulation. Then urinary bladder contract in the case when the parasympathetic system is stimulated. Then urinary bladder relaxes in the case of stimulation of sympathetic system. Then in the case of the kidney sympathetic system, secretion of the epinephrine and norepinephrine from the kidney. Okay, then here the rectum, in the case of rectum, when the stimulation of parasympathetic system relax the rectum, but during the stimulation of the sympathetic system that is contract the rectum. Okay, then many things are there. Okay, these are the bladder and sex organ, that is a male sex organ. In the case of the parasympathetic system, erection is occur in the case of the stimulation of parasympathetic system. That is another important function. Okay, but in the case of the sympathetic stimulation, generally that is vasoconstriction, and in male ejaculation is occur. Ejaculation, ejaculation is occur in the case of the stimulation of sympathetic system in the male. Okay, pancreas means here the pancreas in the case stimulation of the sympathetic system, pancreas secretes the pancreatic secretion is decreased, but in the case of the parasympathetic system stimulation, pancreas secretion is increased. Okay, here the arteries in the case of the parasympathetic system stimulation, vasoconstriction is occur, but in the case of the stimulation of the sympathetic system, here the coronary arteries cause the vasodilation is occur. Okay, so that is iris muscle. The radial muscles are constricted in the case of the that is the stimulation of the sympathetic system, but in the case of the stimulation of parasympathetic system, radial muscles are contracted. The ciliary muscles also contracted in the case of the stimulation of the parasympathetic system. Okay, lacrimal gland, in the case secretion of the tear, that is a tear is increased when the stimulation of the parasympathetic system. When the stimulation of the that is sympathetic system, the secretion is decreased. Spleen is contracted when the sympathetic system is stimulated. When the that is the spleen not contracted in that is the stimulation when the stimulation of the parasympathetic system. These are the important physiological action of